Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the great work, and what I suspect will be the final episode, because we sure have been building up to quite the climax. In the last one, we did stuff and things, and very important things, and we need to stop the college from reviving Moriane. And we wound up here in this room of comfort, at this desk of safety, in front of this note, which shall set us up for the climax. The time approaches. The Philosopher's Stone is almost within our grasp. We recovered 4 of the 6 broken pieces of the stone. 1 is sealed below Minneberg Castle, and the last remains of the traitor Hotlib, who hid the stone's existence from us. Moriane, our leader, told us the truth, and showed us the glory of the stone. He removed the still-beating hearts of 4 men, and placed the shards within them. Each shard contained a piece of Moriane's mind, and thus, the 4 remnants became an extension of his will. They continued to serve us, even after his life was claimed by the Shadow. But soon he will live again. The remnants of Moriane seek the remaining shards. When the stone is complete, Moriane will live again. That's the situation in a nutshell. And that's what we are out to stop. Because if we do not stop it, then Moriane shall live again, and it will be bad news bears for everyone not in this creepy, twisted cult. This ritual room we saw earlier, and all the candles were lit. I don't really feel like being in there while the candles are not lit, so yeah. There was another door down this way, which is intact again and locked. And it sure is loud and noisy around here. Someone's making a lot of noise. There was some laudanum on this shelf, and it's still here. Huzzah! There's some wine bottles that I got to smash. Always a pleasure. Even if it is dark and creepy in here now, without all the candles being lit. That's fine, I know the cultists like it dark. That's kind of how they are. Ooh, I wonder if that door falls again. Does this door fall on my face? No, it actually works now. Cool. They fixed their doors. That's nice to see. We got ourselves a blue candle here. No anything of substance, only a tinderbox. I'm sorry, tinderbox. You are substantial usually, but this door I don't believe was unlocked, but that's cause it was so suspicious I was kind of nervous to open that. But it was nothing, and there's nothing in this room either. Just another room. I'm looking very low on oil, so I'll put some more in. And we'll check down this way, perhaps to the room where I found my lantern before? This room, I can never forget it. It's lit here, and there are ducats. Lovely. Nothing in these drawers. Nothing here either. Correction, there's some laudanum. There is this tinderbox. Okay. Sorry, did I say ducats? They're pronounced ducats. It's weird remembering the pronunciation of foreign words. This oil is still here. No, it's kind of funny that they put items in the exact same places. But Mithraeum? Well, hang on a second here. The college's goal was simple. Moriane had to be revived so his wisdom could lead their way. For that to be done, the stone had to be repaired. And for that to be done, Samuel Hotlib the traitor had to be dealt with. I'm willing to forgive the immersion-breaking details, the facts, as long as it gives me free stuff. Oh. There's the orb, sitting below a vessel in an ominous tower of blue. That's where all the blue went. To this creepy tower of cultistness. Okay, there's some pillars here, which I no doubt can hide behind if a monster comes patrolling through the hole like I expect one to right now. We'll just hide behind one of these pillars. Keep our eyes out. Oh yeah, it's getting close. It's getting very close. Stay behind the pillar. Ah! You didn't see anything, buddy. Is he stuck again? He's stuck again. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, this room at the end here, there's a closet here in case I need to hide, but hopefully not die again, like I did at the end of episode 13. There's oil of vitriol, which I need to create the explosive to blow this whole place sky high. There's nothing behind this bookshelf. I don't want to hide. He's leaving me alone, actually. No, never mind. I don't want to hide. Can I just dodge him? Where are you? He's probably stuck anyway. Stuck right outside the entryway. I don't see anything else in this room that I could need. Let's take this chair for safety. Or, actually, wait a second. Where the hell is he? Did he go down that little side passage? Ah, yes he did. Yes he did. We'll go right past. We'll go right past and leave him to his devices, which will be completely useless when I execute my devices and fulfill my plans to completely ruin his plans and stuff. Nothing up much in here. Not anything. Nothing on top of these boxes. Okay, let's keep going. There's something behind me. Wow, he caught up. I did not expect him to catch up. That's kind of funny. There's one of these things here. And there's a lift over here. I don't want to go down just yet. I want to take the thing with me. There's a door there, so I've got a little bit of time before he busts that down, presumably. What do? Combine this oil vitriol with the saltpeter, aqua regia with 2 ducats, auric hydroxide with the crystallized potash, and there we go. We put you gently on the lift. Take you down. I'm worried this thing will just blow up at my feet any moment. Physics and amnesia. Very funny. Oh. Okay, we're good. I think. As long as we don't bang this against anything. Some more over here. And, speaking of more, I kind of need some more oil in my lantern. I don't want to take that just yet. I will check behind these. Let me not blow that up. I could have hit that with the box just now. Okay, what's in this room? Ooh, this is at the base of this tower. So what do I do? What do I do? What do I do with my my KABOOM thing? Do I... Oh, yeah, that's where I hit. I throw the KABOOM thing at the damaged part of this tower, and that'll be that, right? We take the orb and get the hell out of here? Please tell me that's the case. This ambience is kind of cool. It's all mystic and stuff. Okay. And... KABOOM! What? Hey! Oh, come on, game. The pillar looks cracked and maybe I threw it a little bit too high. That's okay, we'll just take another one and throw it at the right place this time. Good thing they give us multiple chances, because if not, I would certainly... that didn't work either. Oh, come on, it even gives me the text if I look over here. I'm almost out of oil again. I don't have any more crystallized potash. Can I use my hammer and chipper? Nah. Oh, there's gotta be some more crystallized potash somewhere around here. Maybe I just need to give it one more good hit. I don't see any anywhere around here, though. I don't imagine they would hide some behind all these boxes. That would be kind of silly. It does seem kind of important. So we'll take this lift up, and hopefully that monster is gone. So we can wander around. Maybe there was some in the other room. I don't remember if I saw some there or not. If there is some, then I will take it. Any behind here? No. No. There was only the one. And I'm out of oil again. Well, we're just gonna have to deal with that. And maybe a monster too. Hopefully not the monster too, because I am once again entirely out of oil. And it's gonna make it rather perilous to wander through this area. I don't hear anything, I don't see anything. And we're here, okay. So the monster is gone. And there is some more crystallized potash. This is our salvation. Now we just need to bring it to the other area. We need to bring it to the lift without dropping it, without knocking it into anything, and we win the game, right? And the good guy wins. We save the world, get the girl, and defeat the villain and stuff. There was a third thing on there. I'm not sure what it is. Slow you down gently. Use the lift to go down. The ambience stopped and started again. Maybe it just looped. Well, you know, riding that lift has been kind of peaceful. I enjoy riding the lift. Riding the lift is fun because I'm not dying to monsters or anything. Okay, well, third time's the charm. Kaboom! Whoa! Oh yeah! Now that's what I'm talking about. Oh, Damascus, I love you. I love finishing with the kaboom. Give me that orb. It's mine. It's all mine. This ancient and powerful artifact is all mine. Also, the ambience stopped. And it's creepily dark around here still. But I'll find my way out through sheer luck. As I always do, right? They're probably going to send a monster at me on my way out, right? That's probably what's going to happen, right? That's fine. Bring them on. Bring them on. Yeah, come here, you. I ain't scared of no lizard people. I'm human. And I'm coming. For the exit. And I think he just one-shot the door behind me. Yeah, he one-shot the door behind me. But we'll close this one anyway. Oh, there's another one, there's another one. Out of here. The members of the circle drew a collective breath as they watched the wilted rose spring back to life, gorging itself on the shard's mystical energy. Though it wilted quickly again soon after, each one understood what it meant. The Philosopher's Stone was in their grasp. Oh, what's with the crazy music? We're just going across the way to the elevator, right? And lever! And I'll close the door for good measure. Hartlib locked the chest containing his shard tight. As he stood, he caught a reflection of himself in the mirror. He hadn't changed at all since he drank the panacea decades ago, and still he would remain this way, living out his life in hiding. The ambience stopped. Oh, we're in the church. But we still have to get out, right? Oh, the door's shut behind me. And there's another cultist in the church. You ain't gonna stop me, though! I am speed! Jury, having lost contact with the partners 10 years ago, was surprised to see Maureen on his doorstep, ragged and weary. He began to offer the man help, but Johann stopped him with a raised hand. Samuel has been keeping secrets from you all.
It wasn't over. It would never be over. But now, the power was in my hands. I had the orb, and they had nothing. No orb, no monsters, and no Mithraeum. They could look for me all they wanted, but they would never find me. A month after my escape, I returned to their temple to free Samuel, but I couldn't find him. I don't know what happened to him. Perhaps they finally killed him. It's now up to me to guard the orb and to continue his research. As long as I'm alive, the Invisible College will not succeed. To that end, I have done what Samuel once did over 100 years ago. Using the orb, I have made a water that will extend my lifespan indefinitely. The college will keep looking for me, but they will never win, and I will never die. Charles Longden, March the 6th, 1829.
Charles, you have taken fate in your own two hands now. An elixir made from the orb. This toast is to you. That was the great work. A fitting name for, indubitably, one of the greatest costumes to exist for Amnesia. That was a true adventure. The design overall was superb. Excellent monster encounters, some great puzzles and sequences, excellent writing and story, excellent voice acting, all wrapped up in a beautifully climactic bow at the end. Well, that, and I just can't resist doling out praise for things that go kaboom. And we got to break a big thing at the end. Me likey, many yay. I have some remarks to make about the story and stuff, but I want to review the gameplay elements first. This custom knows what it is and who it's aimed at. Veteran Amnesia players. It does not fuck around. The puzzles are not nearly as intuitive as the original Amnesia puzzles in places, although that was not a very high bar to begin with, and that's okay. I still made progress quickly enough, I feel. I didn't really get stuck anywhere, although I definitely felt confused at times. And, that's the point. It means there was some challenge to solving those puzzles, that I had to retrace my steps and think them through. There were a couple of areas in gameplay design that were weak. I think there could be some more oil around, especially in Chapter 1, but oil placement in general was very good. Sufficient, but not scarce nor abundant. The candles and torches are the weak part of the lighting design in this one, as they usually are in a custom story. If you think back to a custom like Emma's Story or Emma's Nightmare, the areas in those customs where tinderboxes could be used were generally well considered. Sure, you've got your basics, like the candles on top of desks you could light for searching them, but there were instances where we couldn't illuminate a whole room, a room that's supposedly lived in, mind you, by lighting all available light sources in it. It's that sort of consideration that I look for in candle placement in customs. But that is a pretty high bar, and when the candles were lit and being used as decor, like in the ritual room in the sanctuary, that looked good, I liked it. And light sources don't always have to illuminate everything. The braziers in the reliquary, for instance, covered enough to make the place feel like a creepy cultist area. Too bright, and it just wouldn't work. Another weak area in the gameplay design was how some of the world was set up. The rope leading down into the hole in Chapter 1, the distracting searchable objects in the blocked off room in Episode 3, the fully intact ladder above the vault in Chapter 3, my inability to use my hammer against more things, the first encounter with the Remnant being in an area that does no favors for its paving. These things are set up well, like the ladder's supposed to be there in that spot I mentioned, for the world building to make sense, otherwise there's no way to get up to that door leading to the vault, except to climb across the gears. But if you put an intact ladder there that I simply can't touch, that's dreadfully immersion breaking. If the thing were broken, it would offer some explanation, and I know the door is knocked down because a monster crashed through it, but does it have to have collision in that position? It might be better than the alternative we saw at the end of Episode 4. It's the little things like this that can make or break immersion. I noticed these details, which added to immersion, but I also noticed the inconsistencies, which subtracted from immersion. My final negative for this custom is the lack of diversity in intervening areas. This custom has a number of impressive set pieces and rooms that stand out. The Mithraeum was a stellar example of original and practical environment design. Simple square, big puzzle rooms in the middle, and leaving through a cave with some shoddy fortifications and scaffolding was great for both level design and storytelling. And the labyrinth of a prison in the cultist base was appropriate. It's probably designed that way to confuse prisoners and throw off any sort of escape. But Samuel's house was also full of twisting corridors and countless similar rooms, and even though places like the ritual room and the cultist space were impressive, what was outside that? Yet more long hallways with the occasional side rooms. I believe more could have been done to clearly define an area like that, maybe more quest hubs, so to speak, as opposed to ultimately linear paths. That's not to say this is a problem, only that it became somewhat trite. And all of that is little more than nitpicking next to the positives this custom boasts. The pacing was masterfully done. We had the intense, the calm, the crescendo, the payoff, moments of taxing the player's resources, his oil and tinderboxes, and moments of refunding him in times of need. Each chapter featured its own unique and memorable environment, with the logical exception of the last one, given the circumstances. In designing gameplay, you never want to outright kill your player. You want to tax his resources. This can be his health or ammo in something like a mod for the original Doom game, but he must always have a fighting chance. The monster encounters and areas of darkness and light, gathering resources and spending them, were so well balanced that I never felt it was totally unfair. The one exception, I would say, is the shadow chase in Episode 3. I literally could not see where I was going, and the timing was extremely tight. A barrel of oil in the final room before the vault might have solved that, but to be honest, it's not a game if you can't lose. It's not a game if you can't win either, but you get what I mean. Then again, perhaps Chapter 1 could be viewed as something of a skill gate level. That is, a particularly difficult section that appears early on to test the player for what's to come, to make certain he's ready. That's entirely understandable. Anyway, the two new monsters are great. The second encounter we had with the Remnant in Samuel's cellar really established its fear factor. The first not so much. The lizard men, those cultists, were shown to be quite intelligent. It really felt like a battle of wits between the unfortunate archaeologist who wound up in the middle of this battle and the circle on one side of it. And more than that, they used every single foe from the original Amnesia and didn't neglect to fill us in on their context in this story. The grunts were reanimated servants of Moriane, little more than zombies. The brutes, they weren't really mentioned, but presumably the same thing. The water monsters being Samuel's magical guardians, who just happened to be on our way, were nice. The shadow, of course, plays a huge role because the orb does as well. The new monsters have their own epic and horrifying lore, besides how they were presented through gameplay. Both equally important, inextricable from each other. The story and the gameplay, that is. That must be understood to appreciate just how well conceived the story is. Never mind the fact that Damascus built upon the original source material of Amnesia without contradicting established lore, in a gargantuan costume at that, or that he raised the stakes from a personal battle between Daniel and Alexander to a fight of alchemy and magic that threatened the fate of all of Europe. The story did these things, yes, but it also served to provide vital context for the player's actions, and for the things that would inflict fear upon him, like the monsters, the cult, and the shadow. The puzzles mostly tie into the story in one way or another. There's no hunt for keys here, hunt for keys there, fix this machinery that actually has no relevance to what's going on. No. From the very first chapter, when they plunged us headfirst into the deep end, we had to solve an abnormal locking mechanism put in place by Moriane himself. They put us through an absolute mindfuck to get a key in the next area. There was nothing stopping us from leaving Samuel's mansion, only that we had to complete our mission first. We had to find the shard in the cellar before the monsters did. And the machinery and the long clock, all of that was an elaborate obstacle with the main purpose of protecting one of Samuel's only advantages over the monsters hunting him. Even the East Wing key hunt in Chapter 6 served not only as some downtime after everything that happened in Chapter 5, but also to establish how Charles was slowly losing his grip on reality, as the shard in his chest threatened to overtake him completely. And I must say that it was incredibly well done, having us start with an innocuous objective, to simply excavate a fairly recent structure. Basic, easy. Charles is just as confused, surprised, and horrified by what he finds down there as we are, and before either of us knows it, we're stuck with monsters hunting us, and with goals that tie into the greater picture, that get us involved, whether we want to be or not, that justify our place in this battle alongside Samuel. Not only is the gameplay very well paced, but the story is too, unfurling bit by bit to reveal the true stakes of the battle with the Invisible College. That Charles eventually gets involved even when he doesn't need to anymore is another point for me, because I like badass protagonists. I'm also a firm believer in freedom to a fault, you know, American and stuff, so the ending resonated with me. I believe there are some other endings, like if you get caught at the end, or if you go back to Samuel, or even if you just wait around for too long at the end of Chapter 6. The gameplay may not have been very non-linear, not that many customs are, but the story, at the very least, is open-ended, at least if I'm not mistaken about there being quite that many endings. Anyway, there's one more thing I've got to say to tie it all together. I have a firm belief in the potential of humanity to do great things, not just like our courageous protagonist, Charles Longden, selflessly delving into the depths of hell to thwart evil where it makes its home, but also like Damascus, the one responsible for this incredible custom, or at least the one at the core of it. There have to be others responsible for some of the voiceovers, perhaps the soundtrack, you know. Not everyone will create a great work in their lifetime, but I believe anyone can. You have to remember, each of these custom stories we go through was created by fans of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. They took it upon themselves to bring their ideas to life. You don't need a AAA budget to create a compelling story or a powerful experience, only the passion required to flesh out your ideas in the form of writing, music, gameplay, or any combination thereof as thoroughly as possible. It is passion that colors everything, that is a crucial determining factor in just how thoroughly your ideas will be explored. This is something I had to convey before I started a questing series in TBC. Blizzard had passion once, That's what I hope to explore next. Well, this has been quite the lengthy series. It's about time we got back to TBC, wouldn't you agree? I'm sorry, but I've been exceptionally busy of late. If you've missed my comments so far, I'll mention here and now that my guild has asked me to fill in on my Warlock alt for raid composition reasons. I wound up needing to do the Tempest Keep attunement chain again, had to swap out a bunch of enchants and consumables, study a new specialization, farm out some badges, and rep with certain factions, and I kinda owe a friend 6,000 gold for spotting me for epic flying on my ult, because trying to quest with a slow flyer is simply unbearable, and now I owe him. So, where doing Amnesia episodes is relatively simple and quick by comparison, it might be a little while before I can get back to WoW stuff proper. I'll do what I can, of course, and in the meantime, I'll be in the Ravager Den. The Discord server linked in the description of this episode, or any other. If you're in the old one and missed the memo, there is a new Ravager Den for reasons explained during 57 of the Classic Hunter series, episode 57 that is. Please do stop by if you get the chance. I love interacting with folks between episodes. I would be happy to see you there. I guess that's all for now, though. I hope you all have a wonderful day, or night, or whatever. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.